afternoon, and we're going to turn this over very quickly to the panel that is here this morning. Thank you for being here for this press conference regarding the continuing Caylee Anthony investigation. Sheriff.
Well, I want to thank you all for being here this afternoon. Some of the folks joining us here today have other commitments, so I won't take much time. First and foremost, our number one priority from day one was to locate little Caylee Anthony. We have stayed the course, and we will continue to do so until we have thoroughly completed our investigation into this tragedy. Many of you have questions and concerns regarding the tips we received in August concerning this event and how those tips were processed. I share the same questions and concerns, and for us to get to those facts, we must conduct a complete and thorough administrative review into this matter so that we can make some informed conclusions. So let's get back to the business at hand. First, I want to thank everyone who has committed tremendous resources, time, and effort into this ongoing investigation. You all already know the investigative team that has been working this case. The cooperation level on this case is a model for law enforcement to follow. Federal, state, and local authorities cooperating to get the job done. The FBI, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the Orange County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigations Division, with special kudos to our crime scene investigators. Folks, those people have been on their hands and knees for 8 solid days finding evidence. The Orange Osceola State Attorney's Office, EquiSearch, and thousands of volunteers who took the time to search for little Caylee. And, of course, the Office of the Orange Osceola Medical Examiner. So at this point, I would like to turn this briefing over to our medical let me try that again, folks. So at this point, I would like to turn this over to our medical examiner, Dr. G, and I would like to thank everybody again for being here, and thank you, Doctor, for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff Berry. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dr. Jan Gervai. I'm the Chief Medical Examiner here in Orange County. With regret, I'm here to inform you that the skeletal remains found on December 11th are those of the missing toddler, Caylee Anthony. As our usual protocol, the next of kin has been notified prior to making this information public. This identification was made by nuclear DNA taken from a portion of the remains and compared to a known profile of Caylee Anthony. The DNA analysis was performed by the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia. Except for the bone specimen used for the DNA, which has since been returned to my morgue, the remains have been maintained and analyzed at the District 9 morgue here in Orlando. These have been analyzed by myself, my Deputy Chief Medical Examiner, and 2 forensic anthropologists, one from the University of Florida and one from the University of Central Florida. My examination of the body and evidence is complete, barring no further bones being found. And the anthropologic exam will be finished up shortly. The remains are completely skeletonized with no visible soft tissue present and no ante-mortem trauma evident, meaning that there was no trauma to the bones prior to death. Toxicology testing is still to be completed on the bone and hair. While this analysis may prove to be informative, it will be difficult to interpret levels from these specimens and thus will not be definitive in helping determine the cause of death. The manner of death, though, is an opinion based on available information, including examination of the body, information from the scene, as well as circumstantial evidence. Based on all of this, the manner of death in this case is homicide. The cause of death will be listed as homicide by undetermined means. Should other pertinent information become available, the cause of death may be revisited. While I would love to explain the forensic aspects of this case to you, and any of you know me know I would love to do that, we must remember that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. This case needs to be tried in a court of law and not the media, and thus I will not discuss specifics of the findings of this case at this time. I would I'd like to thank all of those who have worked diligently and passionately to help recover the body of Caylee, including the FBI, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, but especially the Orange County Crime Scene Unit, who in my opinion, and in the opinion of the anthropologists working with me, have done a superb job in this recovery. Next, I would like to turn this over to Special Agent in charge of the FBI in Tampa.
Good afternoon. My name is Steve Ibbison. I am the Special Agent in charge for the Tampa Division of the FBI. Anytime we lose the life of a young child, no matter what the means are, it's a terrible happening. We have now lost the young life of a child in a very terrible way. We've had a number of investigators, searchers, people involved in this investigation from top to bottom that have been involved with this since it started. It's a tough thing for even the most seasoned investigator to deal with. I want to thank those folks today, Orange County, from the FDLE, from the FBI, from our evidence response team that was out there with Orange County from day one on their hands and knees. They've done a great job. And again, I'll echo the words of the sheriff. This is an example, a great example of law enforcement from state and federal, local agencies working together from day one. Now I'd like to turn it over to the special agent in charge of FDLE. Joyce.
Hello. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Joyce Dolly. I'm the Special Agent in charge of FDLE for the Central Region of Florida. And again, I'd like to echo what the FBI SAC said, Dr. G, and the Sheriff, to recognize all the men and women to my left and your right that have worked so tirelessly on this case, whether it be FDLE, FBI, or Orange County Sheriff's Office investigators or their crime scene. They have worked day in and day out. We on the state level have run down leads all over the state of Florida. The FBI has taken leads and gone all over the country and maybe internationally. There's been 5,000 plus leads that we have tracked down. So it is a sad day when any child dies, but I do applaud the Sheriff's Office for their tireless work in this effort to bring this case to a conclusion. And we stand prepared to support in any way that we can, whether investigative, forensically, or through information services to the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Captain, I'm turning it over to you now.
As the established protocol that we've discussed before, this panel or the investigative team present today is provided us some time to take some questions. Please be thorough and concise in your questions so they can properly answer them and move on. Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
How long do you think the remains have been in that location?
Please ask your question to one of our individuals.
Okay, Dr. G, how long do you think the remains have been? I don't want to discuss the specifics. We still need to get the information from the entomologist, the botanist, and the final report from the anthropologist.
Dr. G, there were some reports that the skeletal remains had gaffer tape on them. Are you able to tell us about that at this point?
I will not comment on the specifics of the findings.
Also, Dr. G, you had mentioned about the skeletal remains. Are they all intact? Is the Sheriff's Office still looking for additional bones and additional evidence?
No, they are not intact as far as they are all disarticulated. They are completely skeletonized. There is some dispersion of the skeletal remains over an area. There is a clear, and that's really all I want to say.
Dr. G, again. Sorry. When will you be working with the additional remains that have been found, and will they assist you in changing the homicide by undetermined means into something that might give the motive of the circumstances?
I would not have come up and stated the cause of death if I felt any additional bones would help.